This is Mrs. Veronica here. Alright, so these are the notes we took back at the beginning of March 10th, 2020, for the test review that we're about to take. So, number 1, what type of number contains both a real part and an imaginary part? For example, 5 minus 2i. It's called a complex number. Don't forget that the real part is the whole number, whereas the imaginary part contains an i. Okay, so this would be real. This part would be imaginary. Okay. Number 2, what is the imaginary form of the square root of negative 25? Again, imaginary numbers typically contain i's, so we're going to pull our i's out, make it 5i. Number 3, what would a rational equation be multiplied by to clear the equation of fractions? If you have fractions, you want to cancel them, multiply by the least common denominator. It'll cancel all of your denominators. Okay. Number 4, rewrite 4x plus 8x squared equals 18 in standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus or minus c equals 0. So you want to have it in descending order, basically. So standard form is basically descending order. So you have whatever a is, which is the x squared value, plus or minus whatever b is, which is the x value, plus or minus c, the whole number without any variables, and make sure it's equal to 0. Number 5, what type of linear equation is x plus 5 equals x plus 5? They're the same thing on both sides. It's like saying 2 is 2, 3 is 3. It's an identity. Number 6, what type of interval describes x is between, or negative 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 8. So it is bounded because it does have an or equals to, but it's mixed because they're both not the same. They're both different. Okay, one is or equal to, one is just with less than. All right, translate the following problem. Number 7, the area of a yard is 24 square feet. If the width is 8 feet less than the yard, if the width is 8 feet less than the length, state the dimension of the yard. Alrighty, so again, area is equal to length times width. The area is equal to 24, so I said area is 24, okay? If the width is 8 feet less than the length, so we have the length. We don't know how long the length is, so length is going to be equal to x, okay? So we have length there, and the width is 8 feet less than the length, so we have x minus 8, which is 8 feet less than the length, which is x. Alright, so your final answer would be this right here. Alrighty. Number 8, how many solutions will the absolute value of 6x plus 40 is greater than negative 24 have? It's going to have all real numbers. Okay. Just about any real number that you plug in will end up being greater than negative 24. When simplifying the expression 6i over 4 minus i, what would you multiply both the numerator and denominator by? You multiply it by the conjugate, 4 plus i. Alrighty, number 10, what are the values for a, b, and c in the equation 4x equals negative 6x squared plus 22? You want to put it in standard form, which is descending order, so we had to bring our 4x this way, which put us in standard order, so we have a, b, and c. Alrighty. Number 11, you're solving for x. Solving for x, we added 8, brought the 8 over this way, then we divided by 6 to cancel the 6's, and x is equal to 4. Alrighty, this part was spell work, I believe. Just gonna keep scrolling. Sorry, we have a test review continue down here. Here we go. Alright, number 12. Ax is equal to 12x plus 5. They want you to solve for x, so we brought the x's to one side, so we had ax minus 2x is equal to 5. Then we factored out the x to get x by itself. We divided by a minus 2 to cancel those, and we ended up having x is equal to 5 over a minus 2. Number 13. It looks just like this. 2 times the absolute value of x plus 2 equals 4. We first and foremost divided it by 2, which brought the absolute value by itself. and that absolute value is equal to the positive and the negative of the number, which is 2. We solved for x, did minus 2 to cancel that, which when we subtracted, x is equal to negative 4. We subtracted 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, so x is equal to 0. Don't forget to check and see if they both work or if only one works. Alrighty, number 14, we did the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula says that y is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Alright, and we said that a was 1, b was negative 3, and c was negative 10. So we plugged it in, simplified the inside, square rooted it, square root of 49 is 7. So then we did 3 plus 7, 3 minus 7, both of them over 2, and we got our 2 answers. We ended up getting that x is equal to 5 and x is equal to negative 2. Don't forget to check and see if it works, okay? Alright, number 15, x squared minus 15 is equal to 1. So we added the 15, brought that 15 over here. So we had x squared was equal to the square root of 16. Was equal to 16. And to cancel a square, you take the square root, which gives us x, and the square root of 16 is 4. And don't forget, because you took the square root, it can be the plus or minus of it. So there'll be your final answer. Alrighty. 16, again, we did the quadratic formula. We took it, we got a, b, and c. We plugged that in, simplified the inside. Okay. And then the square root of 48, it is a decimal, but we simplified it by doing the factors of 48, giving us 2 square roots of 12, because this 4 can be pulled out as a 2, and then we kept the square root of 12. Alright, number 17, same steps again. Here's the quadratic formula. If you don't know it, write it down, pause the video. You need to know this for your test. Alright, so 17, same way. The only thing is ended up being a square root of negative 92. Don't forget to pull your eye out, okay? 18, we solve for x. Graph on a number line, write the interval notation. On the test, you will not have to graph on a number line. You will just write it you will just write it in interval notation. Alright, so we solve for x. X is greater than negative 1. So this would be your answer on the test, is writing it in interval notation. Number 19, same thing. Solve for x. We divided everything by 2. So it gave us x is between 5 and 10, and it is both bounded. So we have, in brackets, 5 comma 10. Alright, and number 20, we got rid of the absolute value bars, kept it as equal to 17 and negative 17. We solved and we got x is greater than 7 and x is less than negative 10. So we wrote it out to where it fits both. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't know what we did here, but this is actually not right. If x is greater than 7, but less than negative 10, it would just be negative 7, 10. Scratch this part, forget this part existed. I don't know where that came from, I'm sorry. Alrighty. Number 21, don't forget, how many times does 4, this is your go-to 4, how many times does 4 go into 23? It goes into it 5 times with the remainder of 3. That 3 becomes our exponent, so our answer would be I to the third power, and I to the third power is negative I. Number 22, you distribute the negative sign. It becomes negative 6, and then plus 10, and then we're going to say these are all numbers. Sorry. And then these are our imaginary numbers, and we combine the oranges, combine the green, so you can get your answer, which either one works for that. Alrighty, and I believe that is all of it for the test review that I have. So any questions, comments, or concerns, message me, email me. Definitely copy these notes down. Go back and watch this video again if you have to. Pause it, copy it down, pause it, get it all written down for your test tomorrow. Use it on your test. I hope you guys